So you've probably seen on the BBC this week, unless you've been living under a rock, the truth about carbs, in which you learn everything about carbs but the truth. But one of the main things that came out was that overeating on carbs makes you fat, and eating carbs that turn into sugar makes you fat. I just wanted to explain that that never actually happens. So we've got this person here who burns 1,500 calories a day, and let's just say they eat an even amount of fat, protein, and carbs. So they eat like roughly 500 calories of each, and they're in energy balance. And through the day, some of that will get stored, some of that will get burned, but they're in balance, they gain, or they don't gain or burn any, or lose any weight. But here's what happens if you overeat on, let's say, carbohydrates. So carbohydrates, you're gonna overeat, you're gonna add another 500 carbs into your diet, so now you're eating 2,000. And because you're overeating on carbs, you've increased your carb content, people would think that that is the carbohydrate that gets stored as fat. Well, here's what happens. You're now eating 1,000 calories of carbs. You're eating 500 calories of protein. What the carbs do, your body prioritizes the carbs as a fuel source. So it starts to burn a lot more carbohydrate and actually stores more fat. So what happens is all the fat that you eat gets pushed into the excess, and it's the fat that in your diet that gets stored as fat. The same thing happens with if you overeat on protein. Protein oxidation goes up, carbs is normal, and fat gets pushed to the top. Now, sorry keto guys, but overeating on fat and thinking that fat doesn't get stored as fat and you need to eat fat to burn fat doesn't happen. So we do one more diagram here. And this time you're overeating on 500 grams of, or 500 calories of fat. Well, you've got your 500 calories of carbs here, which is red. You've got your 500 calories of protein, and now you're eating 1,000 calories of fat, and all of that fat is this area, and again, you've got this excess of fat. So it's your dietary fat that gets stored as fat. But the key thing on here is overeating in general, you store fat. It isn't carbs that's the problem, it's not protein that's the problem, it's the fact you're overeating, you're eating too many calories. There is one occasion that I'll do in a separate video, which if you overeat by loads of carbs and your fat intake is really small, that your kind of fat gain is less. But we'll talk about that differently. But please stop saying that carbs get converted to fat and stored as fat. That never happens. All that happens is you don't use your dietary fat, and that gets stored. Hope that clears things up. Ask me any questions below.